Hi guys, this is Carol. Welcome back to my channel. And if you haven't done so just yet, please like and subscribe and please share with a friend. And in keeping with new customs and tradition at Entourage Nail Gallery, we're going to play it safe. We will wash our hands and cover our face to protect ourselves from the fine dust of your gel removal. So as you can see right here, I'm going in with my e-file. I'm running it on forward on 15,000 RPMs. And we're about to e-file the polish off of my nails. Of course, it's not polish, it's gel. So a couple of days ago, I came to you guys with this set. And now I'm in the process of doing my social media content for the salon and for Valentine's Day. And of course, I have to change the nail from winter to the love colors. All right. I don't have to, but I would like to keep up with the promotions that I'm doing. Right now, we're heavily into Valentine's Day and actually, what do we call it? Black History Month. So we're doing a lot. So I have to change with what's going on. So right here, I am removing the gel. And as promised, I am wearing a mask and I am using a dust collector. And if you pay close attention to the right of my nails, you can actually see the dust collector pulling the dust into it. And so I'm quite sure some of it is still coming towards me, but not as much as was in the past when I wasn't using my dust collector. And so we just wanted to make sure that we emphasize protecting yourself. A dust collector, face mask, and keeping it safe. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just removing the gel and I'm using a coarse sanding band. I'm just pretty damn cool how you can see the dust going into the dust collector. This one, I believe I got it on Amazon. I will try to find one and link it in the description box. I think it's a great idea that when you're beginning or even advanced and you are doing nails, whether it's yours or you're taking clientele, a dust collector should be utilized. Yeah, so all we're doing here is removing the gel, guys. And I believe when we go to the opposite hand, don't get me to tell you no lies, but I believe we will be speeding up the other hand. This was a beautiful set, though. I got a lot of compliments on it. But we are doing a photo shoot in the salon, and it's all about Valentine's Day right now, or at least shooting the promotions for Valentine's Day. So I am choosing to get into the mood by changing the nail. And actually, I'm creating content as well for this channel. So I'm going from side to side. I'm removing the gel. And as you guys know, at the same time, I like to retrofit the nails as much as possible. Now, I must warn you, in this video, I was not planning on backfilling them because the nails were fairly new and I changed the color a couple of days ago. And when I took the polish, the gel off and I started working on it, I realized they might have been a little bit thinner than I would like them to be. So I had to put some, build them back up, rebalance them. And towards the end of the video, you're going to see why I needed to rebalance. Because we're going to end up having a casualty at the end of this video. I really, really do like using a sanding band on myself when I work on myself, period. It allows me to work a little safer on myself when I use a sanding band. And whatever you do, guys, if you are changing colors on your clients, I've seen it so many times on the ugliest thing. Please change. Make sure you get all the polish off. So here I'm running the e-file on the opposite hand in reverse. If you've been following me for a while, you would know that I like to run the file both forward and reverse. And that's just for my comfort. If you can do it in one direction, good for you. I just can't. Also, while I was removing the gel, I must say when you use an arbor band, you you'll end up using multiples because after a while the arbor band start losing its power. So right there, I took it off and I changed the same arbor band, put it on upside down, and I was having some problems at this point. It was kind of running out of grit to take the gel off. And so I got another one. This one was actually fine though. So I'm going to go back to the opposite hand and work it some, because if I use the fine one right away on the two nails, the pinky and the ring finger on the opposite hand, it doesn't have enough power on the fine one to dig into it when you still have a lot of powder on it, a lot of gel on it. So I decided to use it as much as I can on the hand that already had the gel taken off and kind of smooth the nail down. Yeah, I've seen people get color change and there's leftover color from the first one. Please don't do that. It's the ugliest thing you ever want to see. Care enough that when you do it, whether it's on yourself or on somebody else, that you get all of the gel off. And I believe on this, I didn't show you the e-file, but I believe it's running at 18,000 RPMs. And once again, we go over to the other hand. And these are the two fingers that had leftover gel on it. And it's one of the reasons why I raised the speed up a little bit, because where you don't have grit on the arbor band, the speed will help you take it off if you're comfortable with doing it that way. All right, so now it's time to hand file and reshape the nails. And for that, we chose the Half Moon Not Polish hand file. And I'm using it on the straight side for the sides. And as you can see, the nails did come down a little bit thinner. Some people like it that thin. I wouldn't be able to work with it that thin. Guys, when I laid the acrylic on this particular set, I don't want to beat my drum and dance my own tune, but it was one of the most perfect applications. And that's because we were using powders that was less pigmented. And so it's one of the reasons why it makes it a great powder for beginners. It's so forgiving. The Entourage Nail Gallery product, that is. It is so forgiving that you can actually apply it and get perfect application because of how it self-levels. Link in the description box. I would link how you can obtain some if you would like to. So now I'm going over to the other hand, and right here, I am noticing a little crack, what I thought it was a crack, and it kind of felt a little insecure once or twice yesterday. And I was like, no, that's not what I think it is. And so I chose to ignore it and to continue going on because I really couldn't tell. I can tell that it kind of felt a little bit like if I put pressure on it, right? I'm like, am I feeling or I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing? But I went on. So I have to tell you, this is like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am retrofitting my nails. I got to be at work at 10 o'clock. So I'm kind of rushing through what it is I'm doing here. But nonetheless, I had the presence of mind to document it for you. And once again, we reshaping at this point in the game. And that's a 100 grit, what is it? It's a 100 grit zebra by Not Polish, and it's in the half moon shape. Of course, as much as I'm working on my cinematography, I am still managing to go off camera, but it's all good. So I'm giving it a quick little dust off here because we're going to move right along. And like I said, I wasn't at this point planning on adding any acrylic to it, but at some point I went with my better judgment and I actually did. So bear with me. As you guys know, I do not hide anything that I do. So right here, I could have easily cut this out, that I ended up having to put some acrylic on it, but I decided to keep it in. So right here, I have at this point was committed to having to add some acrylic to build up the thickness on the nails. So I'm just going around and making sure that there is, slight little lifting back there. Just clean that up. And guys, this set is not going to last beyond Sunday. I'm going to have to take them off. So I wasn't really planning on doing a whole lot of cleanup work. I just wanted to make sure that they were secure. Today is Tuesday. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have any breakage and that they were secure until Sunday. Where I'm going to drop a really beautiful Valentine's Day set on y'all. So I'm just cleaning up a little bit in the back. Still working with the arbor band. Pull your hands back, Carol. Very nice. Once again, I reverse the E-file. So I'm thinking about when I do the Valentine's Day one that I'm going to show some encapsulation. I love, 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 love encapsulation. So I'm giving a little tug on the skin, pulling it backwards so that I can really get in there. See, we got a little bit of blue gel in there. Clean it out. And as you can tell, there isn't much growth there because it's a new set. But if you have to redo or change colors or whatever, you really need to go back in there and repeat some steps from the original, like you would have done if you were just putting a fresh set down. Clean up the cuticles, the side walls, and retrofit those nails. They have to look like it's the original set you put down. And this is my non-dominant hand working on the dominant hand here. And I still have enough control that I can get around the cuticles. That came with practice, people. I'm making sure that it's not lifted. Lower the speed. Alrighty then. So moving right along, I'm just going to clean up a little bit of my dust right here. By the way, I'm still wearing my mask, even though the dust collector is not there. And so for this part of the job, we decided to use the Not Polished Triple X Bond. And like I said, there wasn't much growth, but if I was gonna go into the cuticle area, I am gonna go in with some bond. And right here, when I did that, I saw a little bit of lifting. So I have a couple of people from my Entourage Nail Gallery group that would leave ask questions and stuff like that. And I have one of them reach out to me. She's a fairly new nail tech, and she had her first greenie with a client. And I can tell right away that the greenie was created because of at the time of refilling the set. Because she said it wasn't there before. At the time of refilling the set is where I believe the guest got the greenie from. Now, there is a lot of videos out there on first sets. And I am going to try to do some content for you on refilling. Because I promise you, all right hand to the Almighty Father, I promise you, if you are going to get lifting, greenies at some point, you're probably getting it at the time of refill. Now, if you notice, we had a flashcard just went by called As We Lay. The reason why I chose to put that flashcard in at that point is because I really wanted you to know, to pay attention to priming before you lay the acrylic, whether you're doing it a new set or you're doing a refill. So important. I can't tell you how many times when I was learning to do nails that you're so excited to start trying to put the acrylic down that to lay the acrylic down, you forget to prime. I've done it multiple times. So I put that flashcard in there that the first step of laying acrylic will be priming. Okay? And we will be using my Not Polish brush. I believe that's a size 12. And since this is my first Valentine's Day nail set and it's just plain color, we pull out the roses. Guys, you can still see the shape on those nails. They're so beautiful. And we are actually using Entourage Nail Gallery acrylic powder. This nail was done with very sheer colors, and it's one of the greatest things to have the pink panda to help you keep the nails. I'm not adding more color to it. It's just blending right into what was already there. If you look closely, you pinch and expand, you're going to notice there's a little black something in there. When I took that out, it actually forced the product into the cuticle area. You're going to see me trying to pull it back out of the cuticle area. It was beginning to solidify back there. And so this is very unorthodox. Ooh, it didn't even show up on the camera. I actually used a dull, what do you call it? Pointy bit and push the powder out of the cuticle. You didn't see it, but that's what I did. And so I am putting a reverse bead in the beginning. My husband is calling. And in the beginning, pull your hands back, Carol. Your cinematography sucks, Carol. But in any event, y'all know what I was doing back then. So I am just picking up small beads, filling in lifting in the back, ever so gently, pulling it forward. Guys, I was so impressed with this set. Also, I needed to say this to you guys. So I was using my hair gallery, Entourage Hair Gallery TikTok to do nails. But now that I am seriously doing this nail videos and social media with my nail channel, I decided to separate the the nail TikTok from the hair salon TikTok. So please, please, pretty please, if you don't mind following me on TikTok on at Entourage Nail Gallery, greatly appreciate it. All right, I've been trying to put up some content, so by the time you get over there, there is content there. But I'm looking for subscribers, and I promise you, I can use all the help I can get in getting people to subscribe to or to follow me on TikTok for Entourage Nail Gallery. I know some of you already follow me at Entourage Hair Gallery, but I need some support on the Entourage Nail Gallery side. Nicely done. I'm putting a reverse bead down to Build up the thickness at the front. Since this was the second time I was changing the polish on the gel on the nails, it actually thinned them out a little bit. And we're just going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. A reverse bead to the front, pulling it back. I skipped one because it was just not needing it. You guys are making me step up my nail game, my video game. I'm getting lots of support on the material that I'm putting out. Um, Thank you for your feedback and letting me know what you would like to see me do better. I appreciate you for doing that. Alrighty, and I believe we're gonna let that dry for a second, clean up my work area. I'm just checking to see that they were completely dry. I'm gonna hate having to take these nails down because they're pretty, but I'm ready to go back into my love shape, which is the stilettos. You know, I love my stilettos. Okay, so right here, I am changing out my tip for a fine tornado bit. And at this point, I am actually going to do some cuticle sidewall. This we retrofitting the nails here. We were doing the whole works as if you were doing a fresh set. Pull your hands back. Okay. So remember we had flooded this nail. So there is a little work you're going to see me getting in there and trying to. I really should have put the dust collector back. But you can see that stuff flying, but I still do have my mask on. And before, I never used to pay attention to how much, I mean, I would see the dust, but you can actually see it flying. It's actually airborne. And I don't know about you, but there is a rounding that happens on the back right in here. When I'm doing straight nails, I do not want that rounding. I want everything to be straight and flat. No, I'm not saying take your apex out. I'm saying just don't make it round. It should still rise in your stress area, but I don't like it round. I think it's sexier when it's flat in these. Right in there, you'll see me paying attention to taking that out. I actually found somebody's work where not only did they take the rounding out, they actually finished the cuticle area square itself. I have to practice it first before I bring it to you guys, but it was so sexy. So look out, sometime in the future I will do that. I am just mesmerized sometime at my own work, just watching. When I do the replays, is when I'm actually seeing what I did. And I am being critical of my own work. I'm looking for things that I like and things that I don't like so that I can fix it in the next video. So right here, I am cleaning up the cuticle area. And like I said, guys, this nail was giving me some trouble. And I kept on ignoring it. All I can think about is I gotta be at the shop, and a whole bunch of different things is going on in my head at this point in the game. The day in a life of a nail tech, hairstylist, makeup artist, the things we have to do. So now we're gonna go in and do some hand filing work. Flatten the top a little bit more. Yes, guys, I'm working that round on the top off. Do you have any challenges hand filing? What are your secrets to getting the perfect hand file job done? Drop it in the comment section. I would love to know. Do you have any secrets that I could be incorporating in the things that I do? Help a sister out. So when I'm working the side walls and the cuticle, you'll see I use the round part of the half moon. When I use in the sides, I use the square part or the straight part. And notice the way I'm holding the file with my index finger bracing the back of the file. That's how I was taught to hold a file. I'm not sure if they are teaching. I'm quite sure they are. They have to. When you go to nail school, I went to cosmetology school, so not necessarily nail school by itself. And so they teach us differently than they do when you go to nail school. I went back to advanced classes to learn to do nails. Nothing to see here, just more hand filing. I'm just smoothing it out now with a fine sanding band. As you all know, I love smooth nails. My silence is just that you can observe, okay? Some people are visual learners, and rather than me directing your attention as to what you should look at, I like to stay silent for a little while so that you can pay attention to the things that you need to pay attention to, not what I am directing you to. So right here, I'm actually feeling the nail, even though I was using a fine arbor band, you still need to buff. I felt like I needed to buff, okay? So I brought out a brand new buffer and it was a little bit sharp. So I am just rubbing it up against. And now you notice one buffer is purple, one is orange. The orange is a finer grit buffer. And because I felt a little bit of roughness on the nail, and even though this one can do the job, I'm obsessed with smooth guys. So I'm going to use this one and I probably will use the other one as well. And I'm going to use all three sides of this buffer, removing all the scratch marks. Using the fine side, making sure I got a good buff. And you will see me rub my fingers over it. I'm really looking for any spots that may have any rough feeling, like right here. And now I'm going to do this completely the same thing on the opposite hand. And in this time, I'm also using my right hand to assist me by rubbing my hands over the buffer. Now flipping it to the second side. At this time, I'm panicking. It's like, oh my God, the time is running away from me. Yep, so I'm going back in again with the finer sanding band. Alrighty, enough of that. So let's wash our hands and we're about to polish it or enhance it. So we're using some gel, and that one is in the shade of Achievement Unlocked by OPI. Beautiful lavender color. And here I'm going to be skipping through the nails. So you're not going to see me color the entire nail. We're just skipping through it in the essence of time. You can tell I need to get out of here. I need to go to work. What do you guys think about that lavender? Like I said, it's OPI Achievement Unlocked. You know, I have a lot of OPI products. I have a lot of products. And unless the client uses it, I haven't had a chance to use some of it on myself. And I'm like, I know what it looks like on them, but oh my God, it was so gorgeous. I don't use the OPI powders. I don't know if anybody uses OPI powders. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section what you think about it. The only powders I have for OPI is dip, and I don't use dip. So anyone who uses dip would like to have them, drop it in the description box. I will mail it to you. And that OPI came from last summer. They had the Nintendo kit came out, and I got caught up in the presentation and stuff like that. And I got the Nintendo, I think there was like 4 colors in there. They had the actually this is part of this lavender is part of the OPI. We're gonna cure that for 60 seconds. This is part of the, now that I'm telling you that, it's part of the Nintendo collection. You can't have the gels. I love the gels, but the dip powder, somebody wants it, just drop it in the comment section. I'll send it to you. So you notice the thumb is broken. As I was about to start polishing, I hit my hand on something and it actually revealed where the nail was cracked. I didn't have time to fix it, so I just cut it off and we went with it. Because I had a photo shoot today in the salon, and I have one on Tuesday, and it was time for me to stop fussing over me and get there to take care of the content that I'm shooting in the shop. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, so the Nintendo colors they weren't quite, they're a little bit pastel-y, but they were definitely colors that I came out for the summer collection, and I bought my OPI lamp from them, and I bought the powders as well. Or was the powders a gift for buying the something to that effect? But I don't do dips, so I will gift it to somebody. I'm gonna try that for another cure it for another 60 seconds, and then here comes the reveal. So this is what it looked like, and I was happy with it, but I knew that it wasn't gonna be lasting long. I am going to put a little bit of cuticle oil, and we're gonna do a quick little photo shoot, and that's about it, guys. That's all she wrote. So I'm going to tell them that's the way, and I intended my nail to be with the thumb shorter on my right hand. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But here they are. I was happy with them. I got the color change that I needed to save the day so that any pictures my hands show up in, it kind of look like I'm on Valentine's Day. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day.